Hello and welcome to another episode of Talk Car Sing Song. Thank you for joining us right here. This is episode number 6. Yes, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends, all your driving kakis, all your family members, anybody, the mama shop guy, whoever. Okay, just tell everybody about this podcast session. And like I said, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And today, we are going to be talking about something very interesting. It's very new, okay? It's new to us. And for the first time ever, ladies and gentlemen, we are introducing the Motorist Car of the Year. Woohoo! I think that deserves a round of applause. Okay, there we go. And joining me, my two guests for today from the Motorist editorial team, I have none other than Jack and Mutasim. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
Thank you for coming to this humble studio, which was arranged by y'all. But yeah, thank you. Okay. Today, we're going to be talking about the Motorist Car of the Year. Now, for those of you who don't already know, it's going to be, you know what? In fact, I'm not going to explain what Motorist Car of the Year is. I will let the editorial team do it. Jack, tell us, what is Motorist Car of the Year?
It's basically our way of giving recognition to the brands that have built cars that are good, I guess.
Yeah.
And worthy of like an award.
Okay.
Because of they built a solid product.
See, so the thing is this, even for me on a personal level, despite me having reviewed so many cars, sometimes when it comes to buying a car, you get lost. Yeah, you don't know. You narrow it down to 2 or 3 different options, and then you're like, okay, so which one is it going to be? You don't want to flip a coin. No, this is not chocolate. Okay, so this car of the year is going to help you make that decision, if you're considering any particular car in all the different categories. In fact, I understand there are many different categories. We're going to touch on that shortly. And of course, things that will be included, or rather play a very big part in determining the car of the year. Things like price, drivability, reliability, as well as build quality. Now, this is what I understand. But of course, I think the editorial team will have much more to input. So, Mutasim, why not tell us, we start off with this. What are the different categories that we're going to be looking at?
So we have many categories, from SUVs to commercial vehicles to saloon cars, and even hatchbacks. So there will always be a category for almost every single demographic there is in Singapore.
So whatever car you're looking for, don't worry, right? And it's going to be there meaning where? So where do people see this car of the year shortlist or something? Where do they see it?
Okay, so if you were to go to the Motorist site or the app, there will be a Koti section on the top right of the screen.
Koti being car of the year. Okay.
Right, so just click or tap on that, and then you'll be presented a list of cars that have been reviewed for this year.
Okay.
So you can even narrow it down to the different categories. And some of those categories have subcategories. So let's say SUVs, there are premium SUVs, there are performance SUVs, there are mid-size SUVs.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's all a matter of personal preference. You can select and filter out which ones you want to vote.
Nice. So every category you will have like a list of cars or a couple of cars there so that people can vote. Oh yes, speaking of vote, so the viewers get to vote, right?
That's right.
Okay, and I understand that the viewers' vote actually makes up a majority of the decision, right? Of which car is selected. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, let's start off with a category. Now, I know, Mutasim, you mentioned some interesting or some of the common categories. How about yourself, Jack? Maybe what are some of the categories that you think where the cars have a very hard fight, and then we can dive into what those cars are?
I think generally, like a general commuter electric car would be a good place to start.
Electric. Because now I think there's electric craze going on. Everybody's like, more and more electric cars coming out there, right?
Yeah.
So what? Okay, so which electric category are you talking about?
I think just the overall, like a commuter EV would be something that a lot of people will be looking at, I think. Yep.
Okay. So EVs, right? I understand that just for EVs itself, there's different types of EVs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you have different categories. In fact, if I'm not wrong, I think there's even a commercial EV category, right? So we're not just going to be doing this for private cars, we're going to be doing it for commercial vehicles as well. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about some of the interesting. In fact, I have a list of the categories over here, I've been told. So wow, this is a long list. Compact crossover, electric car, electric compact car. There's like 4 or 5 different electrics in the categories itself. So of course, saloon, mid-size SUV, performance station wagon, so many different categories. Okay, so let's talk about a popular category. And I think as a family man, now there's a trend or there's a craze for SUVs, right?
Right.
Yeah. Mid-size or mini SUVs. What are the cars you would say, or some cars that you want to talk about in this particular category? Mid-size SUV?
Mid-size SUV.
What's in the mid-size SUV category?
We do have the MG HS exclusive and the Nissan Qashqai. I mean, you've seen so many Nissan Qashqais on the roads now.
Yep.
But
surprised it's not a taxi yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of them.
A lot of them, yeah. But MG is actually going on the offensive now. They have done a lot of marketing efforts, and you've seen plenty more on the roads nowadays.
Actually, yeah, no, having said that, right, I myself have personally noticed for MG, right, there's sometimes there's like people giving giveaways and all that, right? Almost, I won't say all, but quite a big portion of them are MGs, so I think they are going quite hard.
They are going quite hard, and I don't blame them because the products themselves are pretty good. I mean, from our own assessment, I think the cars are pretty well made.
Okay.
They look good, they feel good inside, and I think in terms of running costs, they are fairly low.
Okay. Which of course, it's good because, like I mentioned, some of the key things that matter to you and me, the consumer: price, drivability, build quality, and practicality. So that's good. How about you, Jack? What do you think is a good car in that mid-size SUV, or maybe another category that you want to highlight that you think that there's good fight, good competition? Which one?
I think generally, like I said just now, it's got something to do with the general electric car of the year, I think.
Is that a category, the electric car of the year?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, electric. What are the cars in that category?
The car that's most memorable in the list for me would be the BYD Atto 3.
Okay, the BYD. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's like a coming of age for the brand. I think the Atto 3 is genuinely a really, really nice car to be in.
Atto 3. So let me see. What would that be going up against? What kind of cars would that be going up against the Atto 3?
Surprisingly, the Mercedes-Benz EQA. So we've got a Chinese upstart fighting against a very established German brand.
The Chinese and the Germans. Okay.
So
right.
It's
Interesting.
quite impressive.
Yeah. Okay. You guys have reviewed tons of cars, right? Writing articles, even when you guys watch the M reviews and the M previews and all that, and sometimes you see my face, not so much anymore, but yeah. So when you see these reviews, these guys, the editorial team, they actually get their hands on the cars first, and they basically rape the car first, okay? So they actually have first-hand experience even before us, as the car reviews whom you see on screen. Tell me about some of the experiences of some of the cars that you have driven and maybe some memorable experiences that you have. Jack?
Yeah, I think the Mocha was quite memorable for me rather. Okay. Both the petrol and electric versions were pretty okay. I feel. But I really can't remember anything. But perhaps it's performance anxiety in front of a camera, maybe. I don't know. But
he's usually behind the scenes. I understand that.
Yeah.
You put me behind the camera, I'm very quiet. In front of the camera, I'm okay.
It's the opposite for
How
us.
about you,
Right.
Mutasim? Anything that
Memorable. I'd say, okay, for a performance hatchback, it would have to be the Audi RS3. The one that you drove around in CEC.
The one that I ripped very badly. Okay, but yeah, I don't know if you guys caught that video. You should go check it out. It's what's the title of the video?
First drive.
Along that line. Somewhere along those lines.
Yeah.
You know what? Just key in Motorist RS3. You will see my face. Okay. And I think we kind of not trashed. It was a driving experience thing. In fact, I want to take this opportunity. Big shout out to Audi because it's amazing. Yeah, they actually allow, journalists and like us to actually go down and go all out in a car. They book the space and all that. Go check out the video. It's amazing. Okay, but yeah, so the RS3.
It's amazing. I think the 5-cylinder turbocharged engine, the Quattro system with RS torque rear, so it allows the car to like slide easily. Of course, we didn't do it on public roads because
I did it, but it wasn't easy.
LTA
I was all over the place. Yeah, but yeah.
But
Okay,
yeah, it's really good.
RS3. Yeah.
If we're talking about SUVs, the Kia Sorento hybrid, I think that one really made an impression on me.
Kia Sorento hybrid.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like when you see it, you are amazed by how far Kia has gone from the old days. So the car now it's very imposing. It's well made and in terms of equipment, it's very comprehensive.
Gone are the days, guys. If you're still trying to draw this line between Japanese and Korean, and trust me when I tell you this line is blurred, if not long gone. Okay, because he's right. Some of these cars, I think if you count a batch, you will never guess. That kind of thing.
agree.
It's amazing. Yeah. Okay, let's see. The cars that you guys reviewed now, when you put them into these different categories, right? So I'm just trying to understand how this thing works. So you put them into these different categories. Viewers go onto the website, they click, and then they vote and all that, right? What was some of the main, or I would say the main thing, right, that influenced your decision to put up a particular car or the particular 2 or 3 cars versus the rest of the cars in the market? What would you say? The main thing that influenced your decision to select that car? Let's talk about a particular category.
Sure.
Maybe my question, sometimes I don't know what
Too
I'm asking.
open-ended.
Yeah. Okay. Premium SUV.
Okay.
What cars do we have in premium SUV?
Premium.
I'm
we've
just
got
looking at the list.
Levante GT from Maserati and the Lexus
NX350.
Yes, that's right. The NX350
Isn't that
F
our
Sport.
boss's car?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say that on camera? I don't know. I've said it. Okay, but anyway. So, Lexus NX350, Maserati Levante. Do you guys remember driving these cars?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we didn't drive the Lexus.
Okay.
I think I spent some time in it.
Okay.
Being driven by somebody else.
Okay.
You'd kind of expect a Lexus to be refined and to be quiet, and it kind of was.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how we distinguish a car from the other categories, even though there's so many subcategories for SUVs.
Yep.
So if it reaches a certain threshold, in terms of refinement, in terms of the equipment list, I think it deserves to be in this case, premium, in the premium segment.
In the premium segment.
That's right.
Okay. I mean, that would make sense because we're talking about premium SUVs, right? But I also understand that there's a category just SUVs alone, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, because I kind of see that just SUVs. So SUVs is something that's been very, very popular with Singaporeans, right?
Very.
Why do you guys think that is? I'm actually quite curious to know. Why is everyone's, all the consumers, the buyers, trend, why is it shifted from saloon to SUV?
Well,
What do you think that is?
I believe it's because it has road presence. I think everyone here, Singapore, in Singapore, you're paying a lot of money to buy a car. So you do want some image to go along with owning one. So
The presence is big, right? So you feel
That's
like
right.
you're getting more of a car.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it's all about the visual looks, I suppose.
Okay.
But I think something more tangible would be the amount of space inside, the practicality aspect.
Oh, yeah.
I think SUVs deliver a very good, I'd say a very good package
Okay.
for families.
Okay. So yeah, if you're a family, because it's a SUV, you get more space compared to a regular.
Compared to like a saloon car. That's right.
And I realized, right, for me, one thing that I've observed, one of the cars that really went crazy, I don't think you can classify it as an SUV, maybe mini SUV, Honda Vezel. I think back in 2000 and what? I can't remember the year when the Vezel was first released. Go check, okay? But that year, so many people, just kept on buying the Honda Vezel or the HRV, whichever it is, and I think that from there, right, you can really see a shift in trend from saloons to SUVs. Singaporeans, we love the SUVs, so yeah, go ahead. So I think the SUV is going to be a very big category. So,
Would be.
what else would you guys want to add on to this car of the year thing that we have introduced, of course, here at Motorist, based on the driving experiences and based on your experiences on the whole with all these new cars that you have, gotten up close and personal with?
I think coming from somebody that had a diesel family van for a number of years as a second car kind of thing, as a runabout, right? I think one thing that we should really touch on a lot of manufacturers now have electric vans.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So I think that's another segment that will only hot up moving forward, because actually it kind of makes sense to put electric drivetrain in a van.
Yeah.
Because it's basically an appliance. And
but you're right.
But in a good way. I'm not saying this in a derogatory or anything,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The diesel engines are very rough, and if you're doing a long delivery day, right,
Yep.
like you can get really uncomfortable in the van. But now you have an electric van; it can be pre-cooled, and you can drive around in relative comfort and silence.
With no smoke,
Yes.
no diesel spewing all over the place.
Yeah.
What are the vehicles in that category that are in the up and running for the car of the year? For electric, is there electric commercial? I think there is, right?
I think there is.
Yeah, I think we can talk about.
Golden Dragon?
Yeah, I think we can talk about all of the electric
Yeah.
commercial vehicles that we've tested this year as maybe in its entirety. I guess we don't really have to split it up by category.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the list is it's quite diverse. We've got the French and the Chinese predominantly occupying this
I
particular
realized
category.
that I was looking at it. Yeah, you're
Look
right.
at our
right.
list.
Yeah. So I think it's very interesting to see all these electrified vans. So we won't be smelling much of diesel in the near future, I suppose. Yeah. So we see like the e-dispatch, the e-Berlingo, the Golden Dragon, or the EV ABS.
They're getting more and more popular. In fact, I'm seeing more and more of them on the roads. So yeah,
And based on our assessments, these are actually very, very capable vehicles. And they're not like the vans of yesteryear where the dashboard is full of cheap plastics. These are actually really comfortable vehicles with
There's a
parts
hook
lifted
there,
from like
hang your coffee and all that.
yeah.
No more.
yeah, it's
Now there's a cup holder to put your Starbucks coffee.
it's very civilized. Yes.
Yeah. So you don't have to,
Yeah.
be the uncivilized van driver anymore. No, but you can still buy coffee shop coffee, don't worry. Okay. Wow. So I think that's great. And in fact, right, I think the fact that you guys introduced or rather included commercial into this car of the year thing, I think that's amazing. As a car reviewer, right, I actually get asked this a lot, and usually from business owners, they start asking me things like, hey, bro, what's a good van to buy? Bro, should I buy a van or should I buy a 10-foot lorry? These kind of things, So, yeah, and I realized that there is a little bit of a void, a loop, a gap over there. So it's good that we are filling it up, with car of the year. So what you have to do, my dedicated viewers, is head on over to the Motorist website. Motorist website, right?
That's right.
So go to the Motorist website, and on the top, what is it, right hand?
Top right side.
Top
Yes.
right side, you will see this COTY, COTY. Click on it. And the moment you click on it, you're going to see all the different categories. Okay? Now, of course, if you have a particular preference for a particular car, you go to the category, click on it, you're going to see the vehicles that are there, right? If you've driven it before and you think it's good, it's worthy of being car of the year, click and vote for it. Okay? So, like what they have mentioned, right? The viewers' votes actually make up a really huge percentage of the final result. Yeah. And of course, the editors, they have their say in it as well. We're going to allocate, based on their experiences reviewing the cars. So great. I think it's amazing. I think what you guys are doing is amazing, right? With car of the year. First time ever we're going to do it. In fact, I don't know if it's the first time. You're mentioning, I did recall, we did do it once, right? On a much
smaller scale.
Much smaller scale. But this is the first time we're doing car of the year for you, where you can actually come on board and vote. And all right. So go check it out. Mutasim, Jack, anything else you want to tell our viewers since we're doing it for the first time, car of the year, on this level?
I suppose, please do participate. Even if you've not driven the cars yourselves, you can jump onto the Koti microsite on our Motorist page.
Yep.
You can read our reviews. We've done the assessment for you, so you can make your own decision from there, and you can look at our high-res photos that are taken by yours truly.
And actually,
And me too, actually.
Even if you're
Yeah.
planning
Yeah.
to purchase, you want to get one of these vehicles, then you should look out, for that category. Maybe you want to get a commercial vehicle, electric vehicle, whatever it is. You can look out for the category. And when will the winners be announced, or how? Where do they?
That's a good question. When would it be?
I think the campaign ends on the 20th of December, right? Yeah, correct. And we release results like shortly after that.
Okay, so 20th of December, not too far away. So head on over, go vote, and of course, when you're there, you click on the vehicle, right? You can actually watch the reviews as well as the write-ups and all that, right?
That's right. They link to our written reviews, not necessarily video reviews. We have also
video reviewer no up. Okay, yeah. Okay, no, I'm just,
so in order to make it even more easy to digest, we have summarized our reviews. We have put out the headline figures.
Okay.
So like horsepower, the fuel economy, etc., etc.
full.
And the top 3 highlights of the car. So what are the top 3 aspects
that
that
you
we
really
love
like.
about the car? It's already listed out for you.
Alright.
So if you want an even more in-depth assessment, that's where the link comes in to the respective reviews.
And they can read up the whole article.
That's right.
All right. So there you have it, guys. You heard it from the editorial team. Amazing stuff. First time we are doing the car of the year on this scale. So all you have to do, my dear viewers, is head on over to the Motorist website, and on the top right-hand corner, it's going to be this tag that says COTY, which of course stands for Car of the Year. Click on it. Go find your favorite category, and of course look at the cars that are up for running. It's going to be interesting because some of them, they're like what they mentioned, there's going to be many categories. And if you have driven, of course, any of these cars before and you think they're good, please head on over, go vote for them. And like what Jack mentioned, voting is going to be closing on the 20th of December, which means the results are going to be announced soon after. Something else that we are doing, which is our way of saying thank you for taking part in this Car of the Year, is 10 lucky voters will be selected at random, and you will actually stand a chance to win $50 petrol voucher. All right. Okay, because petrol is expensive. Okay, so we're going to give you a $50 petrol voucher. All right. So it's not a competition. It's just that 10 voters are going to be selected at random. All right. So it's pretty simple. You got to key in your email address and all that. All right. So head on over to the Motorist website. Go check it out. And of course, while you're there, go check out all the other stuff. Check out all the articles, the reviews, as well as what's happening and what's trending. All right. So it's all there just for you. And with that, I think it's time to end this episode. I want to say thank you, a very big thank you to all our viewers. Thank you. Take care and drive safe.
Thank you.
Motorist.